Beautiful. It is 6:01 on Thursday, April 20th. This is the meeting of the Berlin Golf Commission. Before we start anything, even to call to order, I would like to wish Gail a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Gail.
Many more to come.
Thank you.
All right, we'll call to order. Present are all commissioners, correct? Ms. Puccini on Joe's on. Joe, are you on? I see a phone.
Yeah.
Joe, you on? I don't know if Puccini's on. We'll have to assume that he is. So for the record, that we'll have everybody, all the commissioners are currently present. Next on the list is audience of citizens.
Hi, Jeff Mashad, my daughter Ella Mashad.
Hello, Jeff and Ella. Can you stay where you live, please?
Sure. Full address?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 34 Victoria Court in Berlin, Connecticut.
Very good. Okay, the floor is yours, Mr. Mashad.
Oh, terrific. We are here. We are supporters of the junior program at Timberland. We have business in town. We donate to the junior programs at Timberland. It's been kind of our second home. I have two daughters. The other one is going to show up shortly. Both are golfers. I'm a golfer myself. My father golfs there every day. My mother golfs there on and off too, periodically. So we're so fortunate to have that resource in our town. We are here just learning about how things are going to change. We understand that some things have changed recently and certainly open to change. We want to know what those changes are, just to be informed citizens and users of the course. And if we have questions about it, we might, interject during the meeting. My biggest concern is for our junior program because I have two daughters who are coming up, and I want to encourage them to continue to use the course because it's such a great resource and it's been wonderful for them. So we want to make sure that that junior program just continues to be enhanced at Timberland.
We are advocates of juniors. I think that's the future of golf. I mean, I think all of us grew up playing golf. Some of us caddying and then playing, and then that's how we learned the game. And everybody's got sort of different avenues of the game, right? It's just, but yeah, that's you are the future. You are.
We
That's
played
good.
today,
That's
so it was great.
There you go. Great. Are there more parents on?
We'll send Ella. She'll
All
recognize.
right. We'll take a break for a minute then.
Is that your mom, Eva?
Yes, it is my mom.
I met her today.
Oh, terrific. Yes, excellent. You met my wife a couple weeks ago too.
And that,
I don't know where she met you. It was out somewhere. She was coming.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe my face.
It's all right.
Oh, good. Wow, great.
Hello.
Hello.
Going to the wrong room. Sorry.
So, I told you Doc Mack this morning when I saw you, right?
Yeah, I just didn't. I don't know. We went upstairs.
All right. Audience of citizens. So this is Mr. Mashad just said a few words. If you guys like to speak, you're more than welcome to. This is your time.
Yeah, I mean, really, the big issue that we had was the range pass for the kids. Obviously, Mark has built a great program up there for the juniors.
First of all, state your name and address.
Yeah,
please.
sorry. Tony Deanna, 250 West Lane, Berlin. My son Anthony Deanna, 11 years old. He's been playing golf up there since he was 7 or 8 years old. Working with Mark, coaching, doing junior PGA, playing different golf tours like US Kids in Under Armour, representing Timberland in the town of Berlin. And, when it came up that this year there was not going to be a range pass, obviously, we were disappointed because Anthony's there every day. And when I started working the numbers, it was going to cost me over $1,000 for him to hit balls and be up there in practice like he loves to do every day to improve his game. So, I mean, that's the big reason why we were here, why we wanted to just come and discuss that. There's obviously other things we'd like to discuss with the golf course, as just, if we could expand certain things, make it a more welcoming, practice facility. I would love to see, there's some space out there that I think we could do, another green with a bunker. Right now, currently, there is a bunker in the driving range that I feel is extremely dangerous at this point with people hitting balls. I don't think it's safe to hit out of that bunker currently. I don't know if there's anybody else who brought that up, but we were talking about it actually with Jeff Mashad yesterday, and Ella wanted to go hit some bunker shots, and there was kids hitting the ball, and a lot of them were going left and right, and it just didn't seem like a very safe thing to do. So I don't know if there's any plan to maybe put a net there or maybe some more trees. Or something. It's very dangerous now. And listen, what we did with the range was great. Cleaned it up. It looks a lot nicer. But moving some of those trees kind of made that bunker.
The barrier, yeah. Yeah.
So
Duly noted. That is duly noted.
that's the input that I would have currently. So.
Anything else?
Anthony, do you want to say anything?
So we're the old tennis courts.
You have to say what your name is. Say your name.
Anthony Diana.
Okay, Anthony.
So where the old tennis courts used to be, I feel like we could put a green down there with a bunker. That's all.
He wants a better practice facility. Obviously, everybody does, right?
Everybody does.
We're all there. We all love it. Obviously, things cost money, but obviously that's one of the big things that we just end up driving to other golf courses and looking at joining other golf courses, and we love the community, love the golf course. Obviously, love Mark and what he's doing there, and it's home for us. So if there was anything that we could do, obviously to make it a little bit better, to help them improve their game, that would be great.
This audience is citizens.
Yeah, everybody talk. If you want to say something.
Okay, something to say then.
Chris Myers, 35 Chippewa Hill Drive. I don't want to beat a dead person. I'm sorry, I showed up a little late. But one of the things that I think we may have spoken about is just the opportunity for potential for junior pass. I think that we have a lot of kids at Marcus Road, tremendous junior program, and my two boys have been very invested from kind of day one. Really what's made them, given them the opportunity to succeed is the mentality within golf of time management, putting in the work, spending your time on the range. So hopefully, I'm not sure where we are, but my hope would be that we can find an economical solution to allow, families to be able to buy a range pass for their junior that would kind of meet the needs and demand. Because if you just look at, my scenario, we have two kids, we're those of you that know us, we're there every single day. When you start doing the math, and we'd be paying almost triple of what a pass would be just to play for a junior through the range. So we would love to see if there was some way that we could provide an opportunity for, residents, or if there was a membership of kids that are there on a regular basis, just to make it a little more economical so they can continue that love and passion for the game.
Okay. I have a question. What would you guys think would be fair for a range pass?
I didn't know what's it been in the past.
Well, I mean, there's no other course. No other course does that.
That's my next question. Does anybody else around you offer a pass?
I think
Does-
Lyman has something like that.
The Stanley does not. I know they don't.
I just spoke to them. They're working on something, but they don't have one currently either.
Right.
I'm just saying it's something that has been offered over.
They're not going. They don't need to. I can tell you that for a fact. I talked to them. They don't need to. There's more than they know to do with it. And it's just open discussion. That's what this is.
Yeah.
What was the former one?
It was 300 for an adult and 100 for a junior.
Okay.
And I also was able to, because I own the range, so anybody that signed up for junior league, I would include a summer range pass for them.
But that came out of you made money on that. I mean, those profits went to you.
Yeah, the range
Okay.
profits went to me, and
And
obviously
the junior golf went to you,
But I
okay.
was able to do things like that
Yeah,
that are now
okay.
different. But if I were to charge, I charge $100 and $300 for an adult. Because
And
I see the value in having the kids who are the future of the golf course up there and not going to other golf courses.
well, even adults. I mean, at that point, it's there's pros and cons with that whole thing. There are. So it's And I forwarded the 2 letters that I had to commission members, so they all are aware of what's going on also.
Yes, I mean, I
And
don't
was
know,
it, what was it limited before to a bucket a day or something to that effect?
One
Was
large-
that one large bucket a day?
that could not be carried over.
Okay.
I'm in full support of the pass. I mean, the
I don't
range
think
is
there's anybody who's not in support of helping the juniors out. I don't know.
Well, even if it was for an adult too,
Yeah.
I think that you should probably do that for both.
I'm just disappointed that this wasn't brought up prior to when we set the rates and everything else.
Yeah, well, it
Now
was-
it's a major
wasn't even
concern.
mentioned.
It should have been a concern back then too.
I know we said it probably wasn't mentioned because of Mark having the range.
I mean, it's just different
That's
because
fine.
the town's taking over.
Yeah. But we knew that. We knew the town was taking the range.
Well, it is under our new business, so.
Yeah, it's listed on there. In fact, you know, it's, you know, you guys can look forward as far as, you know, what's going on. We are gonna actually, we should be publishing pretty soon, a 1-3-5, like 10-year CIP plan. And that's a living document. I mean, we always, not that we're gonna have that and abide by that all the time, but it has to be a living document because things change and everything is due. Listen, it's all about the money. Let's just call it what it is. It's just like you're not gonna do anything without the money. And CIP drives what gets done and what's prioritized, and things change, and they change all the time. And it is. And the South right now we're, you know, well, that's not even wood anymore, but you know, we have to be self-sustaining for the ordinance. The ordinance says we have to cover our costs, and you know, it's a game changer. It is, and I look at it as a amenity. My kids are grown. They're all grown, right? And they play ball, but if I will say this, if I want to go to the field and play ball, then that's fine. If I want to throw them, I can throw them. If I want cage time, well, guess what? I had to go to like FSA, rent the cage, right? It's just, or the rolling batting cages, right? You know, how many quarters or dollars you pumped in that stuff. But listen, we all get it. It's an amenity. I look at that as an amenity. I think everybody here thinks it's a town amenity. But that's not up to us. It's up to the town council to look at it in that respect. It really is. And the only way that happens is people showing up and speaking up, and that's the only thing that changes people's minds. It's just, unfortunately, it's just the way it is.
We could use the group that was there at the town council when Mark,
Yeah.
when it comes time to do the rates, to let the council know that this ordinance of us having to meet expenses with the revenue should be changed. Because then you can do other things. It's all about meeting the revenue, meeting the expenses with revenue.
So when do they have the next meeting?
Who?
Town council.
Every
Twice
Tuesday.
a month. Is there twice a month on Tuesday nights?
Yeah.
So that would be the best thing to do, show up.
But you have to either get on the town council or you can.
Or
audience
citizens, yeah.
Right.
Now,
Well, Gio, don't you think the town council's gonna look for a recommendation from us?
We've given them the recommendation, but I think, you know, any.
You did?
Oh, no. We're talking about, she's talking about the ordinance, and what are you talking
No,
about?
I'm,
The ordinance.
no, I don't know. I'm talking
You're
about
talking
the
about
range.
the range pass, yeah.
We did not,
We didn't discuss it yet.
it hasn't even been discussed. I didn't even know it existed, so,
I have a question. I know in the letter, you mentioned I don't know which letter it was now, the cost, you're about $2,000 or so?
It was
We
1,000.
think it would be about, for Anthony, I know, I kind of came up with the number of him probably hitting balls about 20 times a month. Over the course of the year, it'd be over $1,000.
And what, do you know approximately what you paid last year for the range? I mean,
Well,
just a rough idea.
It would have been $100, but actually,
You paid $100 versus your about 1,000.
1,000. And I mean, for him to play golf every day there, he pays $320, $340, something like that, to have a full year pass to play golf on the golf course.
Mhm.
And we just feel like these kids are growing. I know, you know, Chris's son was just at Augusta.
Yes.
They're on national TV
Great.
talking about Berlin, Connecticut and stuff. And I mean, that stuff goes a long way for junior golf. And, you know, Anthony's played in some tournaments down south as well. And, you know, Ella's big into that, you know, the Under Armour Tour. So, you know, the name and recognition is out there. And, you know, we would just like to continue what's there because Timberland has been so welcoming to the juniors, which is great. And we just want that to continue, that's all.
you know, and just to continue on that, I think if you're looking at adult to junior, most of your adults, you know, obviously you want to practice, but play is a little bit more of a central focus. Whereas for a junior, if you're learning the game, if you're trying to hit a ball in that direction, right, instead of going left or right, you need that time on the range to grow the passion for the game. The game can be very frustrating. So if you don't have that minutes, hours, days, weeks of the practice, you're never really going to be able to progress. And you know, if you're buying 3-4 buckets a day to try to figure that, I mean, you know, that cost goes really, really fast. So again, I don't think anybody's looking for free.
Right.
But you know, even if we're looking at, you know, something that's half of what it would be to play, to hit on the range, just seems like something that might be a reasonable compromise. You know, for looking at.
What's a junior rate, season pass?
340.
340?
For the restricted, I think the unlimited is like 4 something. 430.
You guys do restricted or unlimited for the kids?
This year, I decided to do the restricted.
Read and Brent?
We actually do the youth on course, which Timberland
Oh,
is a
that's
part
it,
of.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
That's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, that's great.
That's great, and you get 15 courses
Right.
around the area, which is really cool that you get and go and are able to take advantage of. So.
Reed saw me putting last week and he gave me a tip.
You should listen to him.
I did.
Yes, you should.
He goes, you know, you're moving your head. Thanks, Reed.
No, I can tell, man. Listen, people are listening.
Kid's awesome.
You better.
I love him.
There you go.
But I mean, there's nobody on this at this table who doesn't want to do right by the kids. No.
I think as a community, we're all accepting the change. We understand that. There's a changing of the guard in certain aspects of the golf course. We accept that. But we also want to promote the game for these juniors. And like everybody's here, I see everybody's heads nodding. We're all in agreement with that. So how do we come to some agreement and put that forth to the committee to make that happen?
That's an item on the agenda for tonight. That is an item on the agenda for under new business.
You're welcome to stay
And you're more than welcome to stay,
and listen to it.
right? And we're gonna go through. We'll go through it, but there's other things that we need to go through first.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Is that it? Anything else? All right. All right. Moving forward. Approve minutes from March 16th.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Joe. All right, Joe. Very good. So passed. All right. So noted that Sebi made a motion to accept. Peter seconded that. Old business. I do have one thing under there. There's two things I want to add, or a couple things I want to add to that one. And we'll kind of vote on that. One is something we discussed basically in November was bunker quotes. Something else came up to me that was interesting on that. Course design, the clock. And is the clock, I don't see the clock, the clock's not out there, is it?
So you're making a motion to.
I'm making a motion, and there's something else that came up with dealing with, well, that'd be new business, we'll deal with that one. So I'm gonna make a motion to include bunker quotes, course design and clock. Right now, I'm making a motion to put that into old business. Any second? Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Very good. All right, let's start with the differences on the P&L, old business, so. That's gonna come down to you.
There was a difference in last month's, or in April's P&L and the budget versus actual. They're made by two different people. They have two different timelines, and a couple of the expenditure lines are different. That's really the best explanation I can give. If you look at this month's, or in March's P&L and budget versus that, they've
It's close.
fixed their problem.
So do we know which one was after it out of those two?
Yeah, that 807, 906.
Okay. That was the one that was correct.
That's the correct number
All right.
All right,
from April.
very good. All right, and as we look through this now, all right.
And then I know we
okay.
get the P&L.
Okay, we'll get the PL later. Very good. Bunker quotes and quote design in November, and then this is prior to you, Sal, but Jerry was looking at different quotes for, you know, bunkers and redoing some of the bunkers and even course design. Maybe we call the CSGA, see if they offer anything. Anybody on staff that could help us out, even pro bono, whatever. I know this is news to you, but I just want to get this thing. I want to get it on here.
We had a company show us what they would do to our bunkers in January, and what they were proposing was concrete capillary. It's very expensive, so we started to look at another way of redoing our bunkers, which would be a sod lining.
It's funny. I was just gonna say, somebody told me that today. I never heard of that, anything like that.
Yeah, it's new to me too. What it does is it separates rocks from going into our bunkers, just like a normal liner would do, or a concrete capillary liner would do. So it's just less expensive than the concrete base.
I think Tumblebrook did that.
Yeah.
Weathersfield's doing that now. So what that means is rather than we have the fabric there now, obviously, right? The pins are coming up, and you see the fabric everywhere, but they dig it up and they put sod, basically sod, and then they cover it back up with sand. And then I was like, that's wild. I mean, I wouldn't even have thought of that. And so, is that experimental right now, or is that being?
I think it's more than experimental. I think it's a new trend.
Really?
But we still have to get someone here or there to show us what they really would
Costs
Yeah.
and whatever. So, well, that's it's on your plate now. So, so the bunker and the course design. Does the CSGA offer anything? Have anybody on staff that would? We talk about like redesigning the courses. I mean, the course it's 52 years old, 53 years old right now, and you know what it was originally versus what it is now are two different things. I mean, trees are completely overgrown. We obviously know that they're taking down a lot of trees. I mean, planted pines everywhere, and it's kind of killed a lot of the grass, a lot of tee boxes. So going forward, we're starting to look at, okay, so it's beautification, but you're looking 10, 15, 20 years down the road, 20, even 50 years down the road, what it's going to be like. So you're not taking things down, you're just thinking long term when we start looking at different things. So, but designing some of those things, like get rid of, you know, some of the bunkers maybe, you know.
I mean, that goes hand, like, when we do a bunker renovation, that might also include taking some bunkers out of play. So when you take bunkers out of play, you probably gotta get re-rated, right, Mark? Because you're changing the course.
I do that like every 10 years.
Every 10 years, so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see if the CSGA has recommendations on, bunker improvements and stuff.
But not only that, just course. I mean, it's some of the design. It's you know, we're taking some of the trees down. It's like, what do you know? We'll get into that later on, but it's something that came up and just kind of got lost in the weeds, you know, as we proceeded. And last is the clock, the infamous clock. Gail, I mean, can you talk to that at all?
Well, after the meeting that the 50th anniversary committee had, so I was gonna be speaking with Arosh, because we actually do have enough funds to purchase the clock itself. And Jerry was supposed to go back to the two companies, because what they proposed for the base was really more than just a base. I mean, it was redoing this whole retaining wall, which isn't necessary. I mean, we can do a small concrete base and put the clock up. So did Jerry, was he able to get some numbers on that? And what did Arosh have to say?
Roche is, he's willing to help with us transferring some of our expenditure lines that we didn't use and see if we can use it towards a clock. So we're in the process of doing that. Once we figure that out, we can get a PO to purchase the clock.
We have enough money to purchase the clock.
Right. But I still have to get a PO for it.
Correct.
Right?
Is this the solar one?
Yes.
And what's the lead time on that? That's
Well, it's gonna be months.
yeah.
But yeah, we have to get it soon before the price goes up.
The price is going up at the end of May, so the goal is to get a PO before the price goes up, because we have the money to purchase it now.
Anybody been in Weathersfield lately? They have the solar clock.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Really?
Well, yeah.
With the same one that we're looking at, is it very similar to that?
I don't know what I don't know what the size difference is.
I don't know.
I sent you a text.
You did send me the picture.
Do you
I
have that picture? Or did you? I have it, so.
It's the picture that I've shared with the group from the
Okay.
beginning. It's the same.
I wonder if it's the same company.
So what do you need from us to move this thing along?
Well, right now I'm going under the impression that we're not doing the brick wall or the,
I don't see why we need it. I think,
yeah.
you know, we need to get the clock purchased and
Right.
space that, like you showed, you know, just a square concrete baseboard. We don't need a retaining wall.
Or from Ellington Bridge, that picture was really
Right,
nice.
it's just
And
a-
that could be built in your house.
And then it can be added to later.
I
But
know,
we don't need a new brick wall, we don't need.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Ellington Bridge was really nice.
That's good.
Easy to
Fine.
do. Take a little fire.
Right, so I think we were trying to overshoot our goal a little bit.
I'm gonna get the final quote from Earth Contract, which is their new cement. They quoted us at 2,500, so I just wanna make sure that's not moving up.
Good. And we are still selling T signs. I don't know, you know, we've got a sign up in the shop. If anybody knows of any businesses, I mean, who might be interested, I am gonna talk to Chris Edge. I mean, I
I
don't know.
bet you Sliceworks would be one.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Part of the newsletter too. We're gonna
Did,
send out
you talk to
a
Corey?
newsletter.
Alright, cause I can follow up. Maybe we should go to
Flyers
Facebook.
that they-
I'd go
What
with
is
that.
what is it you're looking for businesses in town?
Well, we want to get a clock, like, I don't know if you've been to Stanley, they have that new clock. When we, hope to have the 50th anniversary for Timberland, then COVID hit, we couldn't do it, and now there's no point in having a 50th anniversary celebration several years later, so we've been working on trying to purchase a clock for Timberland. And we do have sponsorship, we raised $13,000, and
Something
we
like that.
need some money, some additional money to get it finalized. So we're selling T signs, you've seen out on the course, you know, that you have, for $500, you can have your business on the T sign and on the website. And then that money would go towards finalizing the
Has
clock.
that gone out to businesses in town yet, or has not?
We solicited businesses 2 years ago, well, now it's 3 years ago, pre-COVID for this, but it's really up to individuals that, yes, Mark did a lot, another former commissioner member did go out to businesses, and that's how we raised the 13,000, Peter raised the money. So if you know of a business that you think would entertain it, I'd be glad to talk with them, and, you know, we do have T signs still available, it's $500, right?
There's probably six.
6
or
left.
so still available.
And then you're also, get your name on the website. Are they on the website?
There should be,
Very good. New business. All right, we'll deal with the first thing first, then way you guys can all leave if you want, because the kids are getting antsy. Driving range season passes.
they're welcome, they wanna go practice, they can go down.
Yeah, and it's warm out now, not before. Season passes, I mean, we all know what the issues are, you know, the concerns. You know, I think Saul and Mark, you guys, you know, you wanna check in on this stuff at all, or what? I mean, we can go around the table and just, what's on, you know, what thoughts do we have, what, you know, as commissioners?
I'm good to go with offering a season pass to adults and juniors. We just have to come up with a price.
I mean, I feel the same way, especially with the changes done to the range. I mean, when the rates were done, there's nothing done to the range yet. Really wasn't sure what it looks like. But like, I think with the changes, we wanna get some traction. We don't want people going elsewhere. We've done improvements to our range. So I think this first year, let's get people using it. You know, and obviously the juniors are gonna use it.
Concerns that came up, and they're true, it's dealing with the bunkers, and then we need some sort of netting there, because, I mean, I was there today, and some people, you know, there's a hosel rocket right over there, boy, I was like, whoa.
Plus the
There's no-
cars too.
Yeah, that's, you know, so, it's not just in front of, you know, the trap, I don't think anymore. Now, I think that we're gonna need some sort of protection to prevent, I mean, people digging cars on the way up and down, right? I mean, it's.
Yeah.
You know, left and right aren't only the kids either, so.
And Jim, it's on the left side.
It's
we know.
straight.
It's on the left side of the driveway.
I know, you really,
Going up 18.
coming up 18, it's crazy, and I mentioned
There's a lot
that.
of trees that came down. the
Yeah,
road.
so, I mean,
So we have there's two different issues here, so can we talk about one and make a recommendation on one? In terms of the secret pass, I mean, I'll make a motion that we make a recommendation to the town council that we reinstate the, driving range pass. Or I don't know if we should go up a little because we went up in our rates.
well, we gotta pay for the ring, I mean, let's call it what it is, you gotta pay for the, and the range got renovated, we still have to pay for that, right? That's, whatever.
Should we consider going up?
Joe, you got something to say?
No, I was coughing. I apologize.
That's why I mute
When
mics
you
over
mentioned
there.
money, I thought you just cough things up.
Stop unmuting if you don't have something to
I
say.
mean, I think
Hey,
said half of what the season pass, maybe $200 for a range pass for a junior, and then half of the season pass for an adult.
What was that, Mark? I'm sorry.
200.
200. I mean, just half of what a season pass for golf would be.
Right.
Whether it be like 200, 220, whatever it is, and then the adult one could be half. So it's kind of like.
That's fair.
We can try it out for a year, I mean, I'm all right with it. You know, my concern is, I mean, nobody else, listen, I get it, and then believe me, I get it, because my kids are all grown, and they're all played sports in town the whole night, you know, but nobody else is doing it at this point in time, right? I mean, it's, and they're
I
not.
wouldn't say nobody. 'Cause
Well,
Lyman does it. They do
Lyman-
it for adults and juniors.
All right, well, Chris Cody doesn't do it, right? I mean, Andre doesn't do it.
I'm saying, let's say they have
Huh?
Leader and do it.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
worry
what
about the other.
They have that many kids
So if
that go
up
to
in
their facility.
Stanley has
Just
no
for-
kids there,
Right.
I mean, if that's what you want, then
Right.
that's what you'll get.
So let's be the first ones to do it.
Right, exactly, that's what I said.
No, we did it before, so we're the first one.
It's not new, but yeah.
Right, but just if you didn't do it, let's just say, now I have other options. I can go to Chris Cody, they have TrackMan. I
Yep.
can go to Stanley, they have TrackMan,
TrackMan,
they have bunkers.
Right.
Yeah.
This is in my backyard.
Yeah.
I'm more apt to go there, I wanna go there because that's where we grew up. If we had to pay exorbitant amount for golf balls, I'm telling you now, we would go use other facilities because unfortunately the facilities are better. It's just the location that we
Yeah,
have at
convenience,
Timberland.
the convenience is,
The
yeah.
convenience is amazing, right, and it looks beautiful now, it's great, but literally there's 5 or 6 stalls there, or not even stalls, but carpets.
Yep.
There's no sand trap, the
No.
facilities are limited. If we had to pay that much, why would I use my money there? I would go out of town to go to some of these other facilities that have better options. But I don't
Have we ever had a golf pass for the driving range? Ever
Yes.
in years? So we have.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, up until the town took it over, we did. Most of us didn't realize that because we weren't that involved.
So Mark, you had proposed pricing that was like a percentage of what a normal season's pass would be for the golf course. Was that in line with what we charged previously?
It's actually, it's more. I mean, it's more than, it would be double what I charged previously. But I think it's still fair.
Yeah.
I think it's fair across the board.
So you're saying that it could be around $200 instead of the 100, Mark?
Yeah, I think for a junior, and then maybe $350 or $400 for an adult.
Okay, thank you.
Get people to use the range, because I mean, like Jeff said, there's better options out there, but I think people would rather use it, especially people that play golf in Timberland, they want to go there and practice there.
No,
Or
because
warm
you
up
get
for the
bumping every
crowd.
day.
So what's the long-term plan, Saul, for the range? I mean, it's, you know, phasing this thing in, and it's a phased-in process, right? So this is phase 1, what we've done right now. So what are you envisioning, like phase 2 or phase 3?
Phase 2 is like what Anthony said, you know, that where the old tennis courts was, you know, we're gonna try to utilize that area for a short game area. But even there, you still have, like from number 1 tee, you
Yeah, you
still
have
have
to put up
dangerous
some
zones there,
netting.
so you gotta make sure if you do it there, that everyone is still safe or
What do you think,
whatever it
bunker,
is.
like a bunker play type?
Number
you know,
one,
what
two,
you-
we just have to move up.
But,
Right.
yeah,
Move it up.
the way I envision it is, you have bunkers, you have 40-yard shot, you know, more like a pitch area, not just a chipping area.
Like Ellington Ridge really nice. There's like 2 greens and they're separated. There's like fairway in the middle and maybe a couple bunkers.
And they're not close to the driver range either, you know, so you.
Oh, really? So it's not
right
right
there.
there?
Short game, they go with that.
Got it.
You know that in Ellington, and if they want driver range, they go there. So they're not even close together.
So that alleviates the problem of somebody getting hit with a ball, practicing the trap. Doesn't solve the problem on the
If
cars.
somebody's playing the blue tee.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's why the blue tee would have to move up, and I think you need to build a tee to the right by the service road and make it sort of like a white tee over there.
Right.
Correct.
You know, but then it would be safe. Maybe number 7, somebody hits a big hook.
Yeah.
But I mean, usually it rolls down.
Yeah, you're not gonna hit
It's
one
not
that's
gonna
flying.
fly in there, you know? So I think it's a pretty safe place to do that.
Or even netting at that point in time where they're moving the tees, building a
Well,
possibility
the
for
other
that.
place is putting it down below, where you are,
Yeah,
but that's.
it's too
No,
dangerous.
you don't wanna do that.
The walk down there is too dangerous.
No.
Yeah.
What the changes we've all seen this year is just phase 1, which also means that's all we can afford. So, you know, when we re-up in our CIPs and when we get back to, you know, January, this coming January, we'll have more plans for the practice facility and phase 2 will come. So,
How much is a large bunker?
it's $9 for kids. We've been charging $5 since the emails came.
So do we have to make that recommendation to the town, or do we have the authority to just do
I
that?
don't know the answer.
I don't know.
I think you have to
we can make the recommendation, but the council has to approve.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And when's that meeting?
It's every, first and third Tuesday of the month,
I think May 2nd is
Yeah.
the next one.
May 2nd. You
We'll
got
be
it.
there.
So why don't we make a
So we can make a recommendation
Yeah, we do it.
that we
that we offer?
You just have to come up with a price.
come up with a price.
I mean, I think
I
the 200
I think 200 is fair, right?
Do you guys live with 200?
That I think that's perfect. I don't have any problem with that. I mean, I'm just 250 just to add to. I'm gonna add my 2 cents. I'm already $56 into the range, and that's me being a little upset when I heard there was no range pass and spending money elsewhere to some of the other nicer facilities, like Jeff said. So I'm probably $100 into a range already just for Anthony. And you know, as we keep going and going and going, I mean, it's going to end up costing me $300-400 if it is approved at 200. That's the only 2 cents I wanted to put in that. As we keep delaying this, you know, I'm already going to be paying for half a range pass by the time this gets approved, if it does. And I appreciate you guys working on it and trying to get it approved. I think 200 for a full year is more than fair. I truly do. $100 is a lot nicer, but I understand that times have
Down
changed.
350.
And Mark doesn't own it anymore, and the town owns it, and we know the town likes their money, so we're perfectly fine with that. But my 2 cents is I'm already in. I'm sure Mr. Myers here is double that, if not more, because he's got 2 kids. So
Well, for folks like Mr. Myers, or Myers, sorry,
No.
if the commission would like to add a family season pass, I'm all for it. You just gotta come up with price.
Wow.
Just let me know.
that would be good too. I mean, I like to hit balls once in a while too, but
Yeah.
and I know my
If you
daughter
wanna
does.
say like, I got 2 kids, here's a price for 2 kids, that's great. We just have to come up with a price that everyone's happy with. When I say family, I don't mean the whole family, I'm saying multiple kids.
Excuse me, I'm the size of the kid.
Tony, you're out of it, man.
I thought it was under
They're not
5.
talking parents, we're talking kids.
5, 1 and under.
You're right, because you got 2 kids and, you know.
Yeah, no, my daughter started to get into it, so that might.
We keep asking for 200 a head, you know, yeah, that gets a little pricey for a family, so if the commission wants to do it, I'm all for it, and we just have to come up with a price.
So let's come up
We
with
got
a price.
three, yeah, we got three.
Well, why don't you do 200 for the first one and then 100 for the second one?
Right.
Additional, yeah, like any additional on top of that.
So you have 4 kids, it's gonna cost you $200, $300, $400, $500.
And they each
4
get a
kids.
bucket a day.
You got 4 kids.
I think that's good.
You got,
200 for the first.
I second that.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a
So
good idea.
I just Googled Tours' website. They charge $660 from April 30th to September 30th. One
Well,
person.
They got TrackMan. I mean, Billy's got TrackMan over there. He's got a
Yeah.
He's got a whole different thing set up going on over there.
No, understood, but you know, that's comparable to, you know, what the competition looks like.
We want to deal with the adults at that point in time? At this point? Now, if we're gonna deal with one, you gotta deal with them both, right? No, it's not just about the
I don't
juniors.
know, I mean.
You wanna go down that,
Do we have-
we wanna go down that road with the
Do we
adults.
have to draw for an adult pass?
I really weren't many, I didn't sell many. I sold maybe 6 or 7 of them.
Right.
You know, compared to the juniors where
Yeah.
I coupled it in with junior league, and so I did some things, but like, I had a lot more kids just pass.
Or what about, would you do like you buy 10 buckets, you get one free? Or you buy
Did
20
they have
buckets
that
and
going
you
on
get
last
one
week? Did
free?
they have that last year?
Well, I'm just throwing it out there, you buy 20
No,
buckets.
listen,
Yeah.
let's just deal with
Let's
the,
just deal with the
juniors. Listen, let's just deal with the juniors, call it a day.
I'm fine.
Juniors, let's start with juniors, get them going.
Yeah.
If you start to get a lot of complaints by adults, we'll deal with that. But they're the most important ones, let's get them going. May 2nd, and you know, hey Tony, I know that it may cost you a couple extra bucks this year, but it's better than 1,000, right? So,
True.
So it's
you know,
350 and then 175? Is that?
I'm
Not
not liking
you,
where,
yes,
I'm not
yes.
liking where these numbers are going.
So,
I'm
you know,
looking for donations.
and hopefully we can get this on the agenda May 2nd, so you guys, come May 3rd, you guys can get your passes. And I mean, I would hope that they wouldn't, you know, show up at the meeting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
important.
We have no problem with
Okay,
that.
so you guys all gotta go to the meeting as well. And while you're there, you can say, while you're there, you can talk about the ordinance too.
No, I think so.
Why do we have to
I don't know the answer, Saul's our liaison.
Whatever you
Because
say.
anything to do
I don't
with
even know.
But the rate,
dollars,
yeah, but we
this
set
is
the
what's
rate.
happened in the past.
Right.
Well,
You're talking a change in rates.
Yeah.
And then also it's a town
I'll
that
ask,
is, the
the
town
right.
has got to
Roche
pay.
is away this week, so let me just ask, my Director of Finance
Kevin?
and Kate Wall, what they recommend.
Kevin, don't ask Kevin.
Kevin won't even.
Yes, he'll have it.
Yeah.
He'll have it.
And if we have to go to council, we'll go to council.
All right, so let me put this recommendation on, and we'll vote on this thing. A recommendation that we have a junior pass at $100, I mean at $200, and you know additional children in the family will be an additional $100 for the unlimited pass.
I'll second the motion.
All right, well, is that for the entire season? Is that how we're gonna do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Until, from course opening to course
So
close.
close,
Right.
or until the range closes, whatever,
Exactly.
whatever, you know what I mean?
Correct. I
and-
second.
You second it? We have to, want to put a clause in there that they have to pick up the balls too? Or no?
They wouldn't take it.
No
All right,
going
so
to the
get-
bottom of the range and hitting them and chipping to the nursery.
I
should have father take the balls out of there.
All right, so I made the recommendation, Gail seconded it, all in favor?
Aye.
All against? There you go.
Right.
So
All right.
check on the website, the town website, for the agenda for the town council. It'll see if it's,
Unless we find out that it's not needed.
Correct.
And that way, you'll know. All right, fair enough?
Communicate.
Cool.
Either Mark or I will reach out to y'all when it's ready.
Sounds good, thank
Yeah,
you.
maybe you don't have to go to town council.
Yeah.
That would be good.
But actually, you know what? It's good that you're getting involved in this. It really is.
I would still go to
And
town
that's-
council to talk about the ordinance.
Sure. No, really, because it's, otherwise nobody's gonna, it's gonna fall on deaf ears, right? I mean, it's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
So-
This is a voting year. You listen.
That's true.
This is a.
That's true.
That's when you get stuff done.
Well, thank you, we appreciate you listening to the community, hearing what we have to say.
Sure.
Appreciate you taking action.
Very good.
Thank you all.
Pleasure.
Thank you all for your time and support of the course.
Pleasure.
It's fantastic. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
For your support.
Anthony, you still got time to hit balls.
Listen, you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to stick around.
I've
You're
seen
you're
Anthony,
more than
boy,
welcome.
he's got quite a swing.
General course update. Next on the list.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you all. Get it straight, kids.
You too.
That's a tall order right there.
That is the problem right there.
Hey.
Thank you.
I only took, I played a decent. I didn't think they did, but usually. I wasn't sure if they should do this one today, but I think they did. They probably win every time.
Oh, there was a question that they may not.
I don't know.
I'm just
She just asked
asking.
me if they
I was
wanted,
watching
I'm
it
just
this
assuming
afternoon.
if
I was watching the girls.
Yeah, Barnes got a good team.
I have a question.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of that nursery down at the bottom, is that a practice green or is
That's
that
not
a
supposed to be
nursery?
used, by the way.
Okay, that's what I
I
thought.
don't know.
Oh, I
if
didn't
you
know
use
that.
Jerry,
No.
Jerry has allowed me to use it for instructional purposes only.
Oh,
But-
I-
You,
Yes.
Yeah, well, okay, that I understand, and I thought that's all it was.
there were 1,000 balls on that green this morning.
Is there a lot?
Wait a minute, what
I
green?
used it once this
Nursery.
year, but it was
Not
clean
yesterday.
What?
after.
The
No,
green in the
no,
nursery?
I didn't use it yesterday, no.
Next to the red bar.
Next to
There's
the
a
red
green
bar.
down there?
Oh, yeah, they use that for
They
repair.
use that if they have
Why
a
never
repair
done?
green.
Right,
And,
I've used it,
and
I didn't
people
know
have
you
been
could.
using that to pitch to.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't, I had no
It's
idea.
not good.
I really, I had no idea. I never knew anything was down there. Oh.
Jerry thinks the coach may have used it the last couple of days, so he talked to me this morning, so I just have to pass that on to the coach.
Yeah.
That it's-
Well, maybe a little something, because I had no idea. I went down there and used it last year.
Yeah. It could be
How would I
mistaken
know?
for a practice green so easily.
Well, how would you know?
You
I
know,
wouldn't even know
Nobody
it was
told
down
you.
there. I didn't know it was down
How would
there.
I know
I
not
mean,
to
it's
use
like
it?
this.
You know, and
Wow.
we should probably put a sign there that this is not a practice green. You know, this is a.
I could put one of my lessons only signs.
Yeah, no, you should.
Right there, yeah.
No, put lessons only. Yeah, do
Okay,
that.
I got another one.
Yeah,
I can
do
do
that. I didn't know that.
Well, what if the coach is giving lessons?
Yeah.
It's a lesson.
You'll talk to
Pro
them.
lessons.
They'll talk to them.
Yeah.
All right, general course update.
So
So,
there was a
shoot.
bunch of questions I think that was sent to you.
Yep, and I forwarded them to you.
Yeah, so,
Yes, sir.
yeah. One of the first question was sand bunkers issue with insulation. So the lining that you're seeing come up, it's a lightweight lining or liner that we chose when we did renovations like 8 or so many years ago. The other option was a heavier weight liner, which I'm not saying if you used it back then you wouldn't see liners now, but because it was a lightweight option, you're seeing liners now. So one of the things that Jerry is going to try to do is it's not just bury it with more sand. I asked him maybe he could trim the ones that are coming up out already, because he can't just rip it all off because rocks will come up, right?
Yeah.
So, the ones that are showing, he may cut around and take little portions of it off, and then add more sand. But unfortunately, until we do more of a renovation, the liners will always come up.
Well,
There's a lot of it. I've been in
Yeah.
bunkers a lot lately.
Yeah, now there is a
And there's a
lot.
lot of that coming
Well,
up.
that's,
And my concern is, what is the men's club going to do to turn it? Are they going to have a rule or a thing?
Until they're worked on, they're always gonna play the ball up in there, like within a club line. So
yeah,
until
because you're gonna get hurt.
until they're ready to go.
But that gets to Jim's earlier point. So is there some kind of discussion around a long-range plan? Because obviously this is a very costly endeavor to look at, every year doing, and I know you probably get a discount or something if you do it all at once, but there's no way we're
We
gonna do
can't
it all at
afford it.
once. So to say, okay, next year we're gonna do these holes, so that every year there's some improvement on that? or-
It starts with the par threes.
So is there any plans or discussion?
There is after we get out of like the bridge projects and some of the irrigation things that he's dealing with now. That is the next plan: bunkers, cart paths, whichever one we choose from there. So.
No, probably is a little of both.
Maybe we'll just
And
get
every year.
a storm again and we'll get insured.
Yeah, right?
How many bunkers do we have?
How many bunkers?
Yeah.
The
60s.
I-
The 60s, I believe.
At least.
Yeah.
It's between
67,
60
yeah, oh,
and
yeah.
70, bro.
Well, you
I
do-
don't even know. Yeah, I haven't been in one, so I don't know.
So you do a few a year.
Well,
You do a few a year. You can't do them all at once anyway.
Yeah, that's why you start with
yeah.
par threes. Like you look at number 7, right?
Right.
On the right side, there's 2 bunkers. You can eliminate one of those probably.
Right.
And then redo 2 bunkers instead of 3. So, Jerry's got a plan for it. Even like with the sod lining versus concrete. He's still researching on it. And we have to get some more information about the sod lining, see how effective those things are and what longevity it has. Like Peter says, some courses have been doing it around us, so one of our things is probably to visit and see how their bumpers reacted for the season. So
I'm playing Tumblebrook in the Pro opener.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they just did it. I think to all their bumpers.
They redid every bunker. I
They
don't know
did
if
it sod.
it was sod,
It
right?
was sod.
Yeah.
Because I saw it.
Thought
I think
so.
Shuttle Meadow actually did a
Did
couple.
they do it?
Because they were in the 12th hole that was closed last year, and it was sod. I'm like,
Yeah.
why is there sod? What are they doing with that? I thought they were making a grass bump,
Like a grass.
but there was like a drainage. I
The
don't know.
drainage under,
Yeah,
right, the drainage, that's
They were
correct.
digging up drainage, so they must have done it that way.
Yeah.
And the sod gets killed, whether, they don't even know which way, it doesn't matter which way you put it, upside down or whatever, it doesn't really matter, right? Because you're just covering it with sand anyway.
Right. It's so weird though, because you would think it would just grow right
Grow,
through it.
I would call it the same thing. Goodness.
I just have two things about the course. When you're coming from the parking lot up the ramp, going towards the restaurant, they had just put that nice area of grass, and they have a stone wall. Well, the top pavers don't go all the way over to the end, and I can see where some of the rocks are starting to roll down. It just looks unfinished, and I don't know why they ended and didn't carry it over to the end of the.
I'll have to look at that area.
I think it
In my mind, I can't really picture it right now.
Yeah, it's where they put the wall up.
But
And it just they put that top piece on the top of the wall, and it just seems like it should have gone all the way over.
a lot of the asphalt around the clubhouse and, it needs work. It's, maybe not even just that area you're talking about, Nancy.
Yeah.
A lot of the concrete or asphalt around, just when you walk out the golf shop.
But that was just last year, wasn't it? They did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people are walking on those stones that they shouldn't be walking on those either.
Correct.
Really?
Maybe all
Yeah.
crazy.
They're saying somebody's gonna
I
fall.
wouldn't want to walk.
The other-
Somebody's gonna fall.
Those big stones?
The other thing,
Yeah.
Why are you walking on the stone? What are you trying to do?
Taking a
People
shortcut.
are always taking shortcuts.
They had a second point, Ms. Nancy.
the other thing I was gonna mention too is, and I brought this up before to Jerry, and he put logs, but when you're coming from behind the, 8th hole and going to the 9th, you come around and the water is right there, somebody's gonna end up in it. They should,
It's happened.
really?
It's happened. I'm
Yeah.
not, it's about a
They
night.
should put a stone wall up there,
Or something.
but
Wait.
they put a couple of logs or something and
Like
they're
on
not
my
When you're
even.
driving behind the 8th green
Yes.
to 19.
And you
you're
go
like
around
this.
the back.
And if,
and
and
you
if
go
you're
around
not paying
the back.
attention,
You can
Oh.
easily go straight and go right.
I played with a
Yeah.
guy who went in the pond.
Really? Oh my God.
With
Are you-
like 4x4 logs with ropes work or
Yeah, you can play a rope up there, cause
something like
Yeah,
that?
anything.
it's just to stop them from going into the
Well, a
water.
couple of the big timber, like to make, what do they call them? The big timbers, the thick ones. If you did like railroad
Yeah.
ties,
Right.
Yes.
if you did 3 or 4 of them, so
Yeah.
you could make a,
Oh, like
So
a
you
wall,
can't go-
like a
At least
short
something
wall,
blocks
but
away from
something
going in.
to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
because the rope isn't gonna block them from going in.
No, they really need
On a
to.
sign, says, hey, slow down.
Oh, yeah.
Go right.
No,
Slow down.
So
By
the
the
ra-
by the
railroad-
time they come to it.
the railroad
it's
ties would
yeah.
work.
That way, drive your car.
But they get
When they do have a curve there,
He was able to get out.
there is a small curve there.
You got your list?
But I think the.
Yeah, I got my list.
Alright,
Yeah.
I can get a,
About 3
I
foot.
think it's some, but
Okay.
it's,
So I'll-
I got teamed up with him, he and his son.
You want me?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Cause I got two to add to that.
All 16, and some of these are, I saw some of the entries for, Jerry.
In his report.
Yeah, it's in his report. All 16 were doing a lot of work over in the winter. And again, something with that area, it's all dirt.
It's right now it's my famous thing is phase 1, right?
Yeah.
So they put asphalt millings in, to make it look like a hard path for now. But ultimately, they still have to put what they call stone dust in there, to make it more like a pavement. But also put some either curbs or the 4x4 with ropes.
Cause it's all torn up there, that hard pan is like
It's
brutal.
hard. I mean, when we were digging it up over the winter, it's hard to get in there.
one of the areas that, we talked about it a while back with Jerry, pardon me for a minute. Number 5, hole number 5, we did a lot of work on the right side where we spent a lot of money putting in, seeding that whole area. We had no water. That's why it's always dying. It never grows. It never grows. We
Well,
have
I
no
say-
water to reach it.
I say put wood chips in there, because nothing's gonna grow in there.
Well, you get no water.
But that's right,
Oh, where the
that's
trees
right,
are in
put
there.
the wood chips in there.
Right.
Put the wood chips in there and just play it out there, or whatever. But there's nothing else that you, like you said, there's nothing gonna grow, there's no water there. So you put wood chips in there and it'll save it,
Pine straw.
like a pine straw,
Like a Augusta.
like Augusta. That's what it'd be like.
You're right though, Sammy, our irrigation system doesn't reach the whole area,
No,
so eventually he's got to put a sprinkler there to.
You can't do that with all the trees, it'll never work.
You're right, because if you look at the grounds there, it's like the left side of number 2, there's a lot of roots that's still there, and you can't grow grass when there's all those roots.
Yeah. We have to need it.
What else you got? 'Cause I got 2 things I think.
There's 6 or 7.
No, this is, I said I have 2 things, but he's got his list.
No, the rest are all put in Jerry's report.
All right.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we spoke about these questions before he wrote his report, so maybe he just
I
answered.
saw it in the report, so I answered. My question's right answered.
All right, that's fine. Ramsey's, came to me today with a couple things on his mind. He said, listen, he goes, they took down his signs where he parks, and usually he moves when he's, bringing all his product in and whatever, and his signs are gone, so people just parking there now. So he goes, there's those were taken 3 weeks ago, and they were supposed to be put back up. They just never were. And Jerry said, "Well, I'll get them right back." It didn't happen. So I mean, that's something that has to be like addressed now because he needs to pull his product in, walk up, and so I don't know what's going on with that.
Our maintenance staff has had a tough couple weeks from one of our staff. His wife is very ill, so he's been taking time off, and someone was on vacation. So it's not just someone's; it's our full-time staff, right? So right now we're working with our 9-month blue collars who only work 29 hours a week. So we're trying to divvy those hours up properly. So, and we had some irrigation problems with the pump house and irrigation on the course. So the last 2 weeks, all the attention has been going to that. So if Ramsey signed when we took it off, didn't say anything. It was blank.
I thought it was reserved parking or something.
Yeah, but it's right.
couldn't see it.
And the sides were real wobbly.
It was so old.
It didn't say
All right.
anything. So, like I told Ramsey this whole week, our priority is the golf course. If he wants things done, he's on our time. If he really wants it that fast, well, he could hire someone.
You could hire someone to install the sign, the union.
Well, there's other
You can't do
things.
that.
I wonder if
Something temporary.
the highway department can't do that. Why do we have to do
Why?
that?
I got no idea. That's good.
You got
point.
You're right, because like I said, you see him cutting down on that, the number 11. You see him cutting brush over there. And the golf course is part of the town.
But they put, it's a
And
town
it should be a
facility. They
highway
put up
thing.
signs all
But they
over
do-
town. Why can't they put up 2 signs for him to park?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
And I think you're right, the town should
And
do
this way here, there's no skin off of the maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a town facility.
Didn't they come in and put the handicap signs up? Or did we?
They had to do that, I don't think they did that. But they come and they
So
do
they
the
put it
lines.
upside down, that fixed them.
Right, they come.
They put it
It's
upside
not
down.
just golfers.
Yeah,
who
they did
use
that to
it.
me.
Put it upside down.
But the thing is, the town does come in and do the lines, they paint the lines, right? The parking lot,
I
right?
don't know why they can't just come in, stamp in that green thing and put a sign
Sign, I
on
don't
the
know.
reserve park.
Have we asked
Right.
them?
I think.
What's that?
Can you ask the town?
I can ask.
They come up there all the time. I mean, they do come up there. I see them up there all the time. The town
I mean, I
trucks,
think, yeah, it's only things, but taking the metal pole and get the bar and pumping it down in the
Well,
ground.
you know what?
I can do that myself.
They have that.
They have,
They have
all
those
the
Yeah, I can,
equipment.
yeah,
They have
I
those.
go state garage and get one.
They probably have reserved signs in the warehouse somewhere.
Right.
That's
Especially, I mean, it shouldn't be on
Yeah,
us
this
to
is-
do
this
that.
is-
Reserve is reserve, doesn't have to say Ramsey.
Yeah.
No, it just says reserve.
Re-
Period.
Trivial.
Ramsey pays rent. Ramsey pays rent for the service. I think that he should deserve like an hour worth of work to put those signs back in.
He does, he used to pay rent.
Where does it tell?
And the rent went up.
Yeah, the rent went up, and the tent's not up, so that's the other thing, you know, you couldn't be.
Tent's gotta go up on May 2nd, cause we gotta have.
I thought you had down next week too, right?
We have a pro-am, but it's tea times and it's not necessary, let's put it that way. It's
Alright.
not, we don't need it.
I didn't get
Got
it.
The tent should be going on Monday.
Alright.
Well, we saw your CSGA scores.
Right.
Dude, tell me about it.
Alright, that's,
Early.
I didn't want to make that sound like we don't work with Ramsey. Everything Ramsey asks,
listen,
then I go to Jerry, right?
Yeah, but what the suggestion is maybe Jerry doesn't have to do it. Maybe
Like
it's the town.
we could even get help from the town to do the tent this week. Right, we don't plan on doing it this week,
How sad is that?
but we're understaffed, we need like 4 or 5 people,
Yeah, and a lot of people.
you know, but we couldn't get help.
Well,
So that's
I'd
why
say
it's
if you
Monday.
want help, just, if you can take help from people like us,
Yeah,
we're willing to help. Let us know.
You ready tomorrow, Jim?
Yeah.
Nah.
Good time.
Reserve parking for him too. He's already got a spot.
he's got a spot. Reserve, listen, there's 3 sides to every story, right? And it's like, mine, yours, and something in the middle, there's always.
It's too bad he couldn't just put something up himself, cause he probably would the next day, like,
Yeah.
he needs those spots for various reasons.
Alright. That's, alright. Ramsey's, anything else?
I just have a question. Is that the whole issue about the signs, or he used to put signs on the course where you could order your food if you're on the ninth team?
That's the next bullet.
We got that covered.
That's the next bullet.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
Yeah, it's past your bedtime.
No, I misspoke. I misspoke. I said
It's 4:20.
6:30.
You smoking?
Oh, no.
I said 6:30 before that. I had to leave at 7:30. I was off by that.
All right. Ramsey signs on the course.
So
Menu signs.
He gave me menu signs for whatever 9 and 18 or whatever holes it is. I just
Call ahead, those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to know like who has put that up in the past.
The
I wanna
town,
say the main,
No,
maintenance did it.
Really, I don't think they.
Yeah, they put it on number
So
9.
they did?
Number 9, they put it on number 9.
It's just not a stake. It's
Ramsey,
just not a wooden
he
stake.
provided the signs though, I think one of his companies
Right.
provided the signs, like, town didn't pay for that or anything. It was
Where
all
do we
in-
put it? Like,
Oh,
I
on
don't-
the tee
when I
box.
go
Over by
to
the tee
these-
box.
when I go to these holes, I don't see a steak
on-
or a bowl. You know,
No,
Some
it's
number-
it's
some
fun.
number
It's been
10
on for a
sign.
couple
They
of
figured
years.
it out.
Right.
'Cause they got-
On number 9,
fallen
like
over.
we were talking about, you go around the back to 8 and you go to the 9 to the back tee, there was a sign there on the right.
Right.
Yep, and then 18 was by the blue tee.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
where it
Oh,
was.
that was never
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, when you walk off the green.
On 17, you can see the sign, yeah.
Does he have the signs?
I have it in my office. So I
How many
First
stakes?
group
How
out,
many-
give him a leggy when he goes out.
the one that's supposed to buy the 4x4 for it or
No, you don't need 4x4.
No, it was.
It was that.
They were on 4x4s before.
They
I
were.
want to say yes, they were.
On the course?
Yeah.
No.
I disagree with you.
No.
I thought they were on 2 4x4s.
No, they were
just on a stake.
Just on a stake, man. Boom.
That's all it was. I thought
And I could do that.
on a windy day that won't fly away.
No, that'd be not if you stake it in,
Yeah.
you know, because they were low, it was low to the ground.
That's
There was only this much of stake
like
showing.
an outing state, like an outing side.
No, it was an
more
actual,
stake
it was an actual stake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have some?
You know?
How are those signs?
See,
Are they the signs?
What do the signs look like?
Yeah, could they go on the T sign? On top of the T sign?
No.
Oh, you know what, that's an idea too.
That's
No,
not
that's
It's
bad.
perfect
big.
at that point, huh?
It's big.
Well,
It's a big sign. They're like this, right? They're like something like
I would
this.
say like a windshield of a golf cart. Big.
Oh, they weren't that big.
No, they weren't that big.
I think so.
Are they new?
No,
They're just rectangle.
Yeah. No, it
Oh,
could
they're
go on, it could go on the,
Or it
So
could go
much
on the
post on
opposite,
that,
it
on
could go on
the
the
T-sign.
opposite side of the T sign.
on a T sign, I don't
I
see
mean,
why
if
it
you
can't
really
go on the
want to
bottom
see
of the T
Oh,
sign.
yeah, you'd have to really look.
Here's the, they were in the
Trying to
corner,
be-
you know what, to the right, when you were on 9, you went around the bend, right on the corner, they were right there.
That's where they were.
That's correct. That-
Right at the
and-
back,
and,
right at the
so,
corner.
you know what, all you need is like,
With the trash can.
2x4s, right, cut 2x4 in half, right, 8-footers, and mount them on there, right? Most likely, because you see it's got new signs, it's not the same sign.
Well, you could mount it on the T sign, where they put the T sign.
No, those are, no,
I
Oh,
will say it's helpful for base of play, I think, if you
Yeah.
do that. You call
No,
it-
they should be out there, every other
Yeah.
golf course has it.
There's no problem with that.
Yeah.
But I put them on 2x4s and just cut them in half.
You know where the trash can is on 9 on the corner?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
Right
what
there,
it
that's
is.
where it was.
Yeah, that's where it was.
I just come around that bend, that first
So,
one.
on
18,
18
am I
it
gonna
was-
ask Ramsey to get these 2x4s, or?
No, give me the signs up if you want, I can put them up, but I don't wanna make waves with maintenance either, but if they want, I can.
You make waves?
I mean, he probably, he could
No,
probably
that's
pay
me.
for
That's my
2x4s.
job.
Just put 'em up.
Have 2x4s.
Just put them up and let it go.
I'll look around the main
Ask for permission
shed.
to-
I have 2x4s, I have 2x4s. Just say the word and I can have them up by the weekend, or over the weekend.
What time you wanna start tomorrow?
Huh?
What time tomorrow?
I get
10
a
o'clock?
meal from Wednesday.
All
Put
right.
'em up.
So
Put 'em up.
now that we know that we can put them up on, just a matter
Put
of getting
them
them
up
up
and
there,
get it
right?
done. Nobody knows nothing.
All right, P&L for March.
I have to do business
Yeah,
with.
well, go ahead. I'll tell you, well, let's do P&L, then we can
Okay.
we'll go there, okay?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I mean, the numbers are close, they're off by a couple bucks, but that's just could be a timing difference, and I think the numbers are, there's 2 categories that the differences in bank charges and it looks like the operating equipment new, but looking at this, we went up on the rates, obviously. Expenses are up, revenue's up, right? You're still showing a less of a loss, which is a good thing, I think, but it all comes down to rounds. Where do we stand with rounds? And I didn't, Mark, did you provide that? The rounds? All right, who does the rounds? All right, I'm kind of,
We would have to request what reports we'd like to see.
okay, all right. Can we, how are we doing on rounds compared to previous years? So, any idea?
I have a little, you know, we full once a week, what, 2 days?
This month? Yeah.
So, maybe that's something we'll look at next week.
Okay.
Do you want me to start providing that like I did in the past?
Yeah, can you
I
please?
could pull it up.
Help, if you don't mind, helping them out with that one, and that'll be a
Something you
telltale
gotta
sign. It doesn't seem as busy as it has been in the past. All right, maybe that's just me.
No, I agree with you because I think that a lot of people are taking vacations elsewhere. I think they're going on with other places.
The weather has a lot to do with it,
Yeah.
but people are going back to the office too, and I see that happening more and more. But that's just neither here nor there. All right,
We had
so
a really slow start, but then we had a busy week. The week it was hot. It was very busy. Now the leagues are, off to a slow start, mainly because of the weather.
all right.
I do have a couple of questions on the P&L though. So my question, and you mentioned it, Jim, so were the bank charges 14,800 or were the bank charges 18,000? There's 2 different numbers.
For March? No, they
I'm
were.
looking at this, I'm looking at a piece of paper that says April.
Oh no, that's for February. That's for read the header up on that one. Bank charges are $21,398. Now you actually bring up a good point because I thought with the new POS system we're getting rid of the bank charges.
Right now, we're still taking it in.
We're still paying for them.
Yeah.
All right.
Until we can offer a cash discount. That's how you can alleviate bank charges. Or
Really?
that's how you can push it to the customers.
Well, that's interesting. Is that new? Because
No,
I never heard that
that's-
one before.
That's a CT Gov law.
I'm pretty sure that is the law.
That's the law.
You can discount it for cash, but you can't have a additional surcharge.
Well, that's interesting. Now, we didn't know that. If I'd known that, we would have said we could have had different rates. You guys should charge price as your cash price.
I don't think anybody put that one together.
Well, when then,
Like what the,
with this just got, this, somebody's had an epiphany that just came, you know.
listen, I'm just.
Oh, no, I'm not coming at you. I'm
That's,
just, I mean,
that's all on the finance department, I would think.
we've been asking this for how many years?
They should
I mean,
know
this has been for how many years?
I just went on CT Gov and they tell you.
Well, okay, so when we do our rates next year, guess what?
Yeah.
We have
Cash.
a cash rate and a charge rate, right? That's fair
See
enough.
that at gas stations?
I mean, the only challenge you run into a little bit is, you know, with cash, you have potential for theft.
They got cash now.
Yeah,
We're doing
but,
a lot of
but you probably are gonna have a more cash if you're offering a cash discount, which it's all doable.
Listen, that's
I mean, I'm not saying not to do it, I'm just
Yep.
saying that you need to look at some potentially other controls in terms of cameras and things like that, if you're going to, or at least some kind of controls on, you know, because you're gonna be responsible for the cash.
I don't think the average golfer's gonna care.
You know, Peter, I agree with you. They're gonna use, if you're gonna use your card, you use your card.
If they're gonna use their card, they're gonna use their card.
Right.
And they don't
You're
care.
probably right, you're probably right.
More people here in cash.
Yeah, it's true, less people.
It's gonna be.
I'll be cash guy.
You're an exception.
It's an
There's always an
additional
exception.
$2 on the peak rate. That's what it comes out to.
$2?
Yeah, it's like $2. If we're talking 3%, I think that's pretty.
No, I think you're right, most people don't care.
They don't care.
People are gonna pay the $2.
That's right.
I agree.
They can do it, yeah, I agree with you. I
Yeah,
agree.
because they get their points
So, but-
and their
but, yeah.
mileage and all that.
But
So,
you know what,
agree.
going forward, now we know. So there you go, so that's, thank you, perfect, thank you.
Another question, I'm sorry, but I'm confused because this says on here, budget versus actual 2/28 and it says April. Is that,
That's the one that had a difference from last meeting. I
That's for the April meeting.
Put it in there.
oh, so this was the April meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then,
The one that says March is for now.
But,
for
yeah,
March.
Okay.
Okay, so March, so this is year-to-date for March.
yeah, I had a hard time with that one to begin with too, and I had to look at the headers, and say, all right, what's going on here? I just figured that was a redo for February.
So
Yeah.
this, yeah, I know, so so in February, year-to-date supplies, $18,000. Am I reading that correct? It's above irrigation, 18,000,
We're looking at the April one.
yes. And well, it's,
She's looking at February, yeah.
it says
April,
up here,
yeah.
year-to-date February 23, 20, yeah, year-to-date February, isn't it?
Well, I mean, how could it, yeah, whoa.
And then it says supplies, 18,000. So that's February. Now you're telling me that this is March, right?
There's still a problem with this, because the chances of having two numbers the same there, 18,356
Well-
twice, that's a problem. This redo that they gave you is wrong. I can tell you for a bit. The odds of that happening are slim to none. So account number 53106 and 53201 at 18,356 each of them is wrong. This is on February. Well, the February, yeah, the one you call April, but that's wrong. That's an error. I don't know who gave you this, but I'll tell you what, Saul, there's a bigger, there's a problem.
Why
Huge.
is it wrong?
Because you'll never have two numbers like that.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same, that's number one, and if you look at the next month, 53201 is $1,718. It's not like you got a refund of that amount.
Well, then, yeah, I was not following it because then if you look to March, which should be more.
Yep, it's
the
less.
Supplies, well,
It's less, it went down.
no, actually it's 21,000.
How do you figure that? Account number 53201 in the March,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, how could, it's
it
not.
can't go down.
Something's not.
So something's wrong. This one,
Doesn't Kevin sign off on all this stuff?
I don't know, but this is, whoever gave you, who's giving you these reports?
Yeah, well, he should look these over.
I'll send him an email tomorrow that these are atrocious, that it's an
Okay.
embarrassment.
So that falls under his
Purview.
purview.
Yeah, I'm just concerned that things aren't matching up, they haven't been matching up for months. Now, either people are, you know, maybe it's an Excel spreadsheet that somebody's hiding a column that they need to hide, you know, things, that happens, you know.
I got to start having stuff by hand if that's the case, you know, I'll take a calculator out, if that, you can't trust that. No offense, you just.
You know, and instead of getting a photocopy, it'd be really nice to get a protected Excel spreadsheet. That, you know,
Well, it would be nice to have the sign off from the head of the.
yeah, because it just doesn't bode well. I mean, we're responsible for this as a commission.
That's right,
Yeah.
well, every number counts. We have to
And
account
it's
for every
just-
dollar,
And it's not making sense.
and.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
So we'll get it.
I'll send an email.
No, they don't.
This doesn't happen in other departments.
Because when I look back, I'm concerned I'm concerned that the supplies were as high as they were, 18,000, and last year our supplies through May were only $900. So that could be that something that was
Categories
categorized
probably got
differently
shipped, yeah.
got shipped, and that can happen, but what is that? Because that's a big change. Because if you
Maybe
notice,
we should invite, head of finance for a meeting, no, to understand
Yeah, all right.
what these are.
Can you invite Jeff to all these meetings? The next meeting, please? Yes, please.
with a, like, for next month's real numbers to go through it with us.
Just so we can get clarity, that's all, we're just looking for.
Obviously, every time I look at him, I always have a question. And then I ask you, and it's like, well, you asked him, and it's like, well, there was a discrepancy because they came to two different people. You know what?
You can zoom in, that's fine. It
Yeah,
doesn't have to be
yeah,
here.
personally, yeah.
Thank you.
And it is a Thursday, so we gotta work till 7 anyway.
Right.
We'll get them on the list first.
There you go.
Did I go now?
Yes, sir. Open discussion. Peter.
I'm noticing that, I don't know if it's the new system, or if it's some of the personnel problems or whatever. I'm just noticing that there's a real lag in signing it, and there's longer lines. And so I was talking with Saul today, and Saul actually discussed probably with season pass holders to figure out a way to probably go in, sign in, and then they'll deal with that when it's a little slower in the shop.
What, just give you $2
Give
or
me
whatever?
$2
Or $1 or whatever. it's gonna be.
whatever, you know, season pass holder, I don't know, scan that and go, scan your tag and go, I don't know how the system works.
Well, the
But
system
we
now
gotta have like an express line for.
the
season
barcode
pass.
works, right? The barcode reader works now.
Yeah. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So probably have like an express lane for season pass holders, you in, you're out. You know, give you $2 if you're walking out. You're out.
There's only one guy there. It's only one guy, so
Yeah,
how
and
do
you
you know
know-
an express line when he's working on somebody else?
Well, a sign up sheet or something. I don't know. That's why I'm bringing it up, just to kind of collectively think
Pay
about
for a cart.
how we can speed this up a
Yeah,
little.
but how they pay
Yeah,
for
for
the car.
card.
How do you pay for a cart? Cart? Right,
What are your
okay.
thoughts,
No,
Saul?
we're just talking out loud. We're just talking out loud.
I know, right, that's what I mean,
Because you
brainstorm.
know what? It's,
Has it gotten better? Well, you know what?
Well,
It's gotten better,
it's
right?
frustr-
Because
it's
they're
frustr-
learning the system.
in this line this morning,
Yeah, that.
Oh, there was a lot- okay.
there were Lady Niners.
There were people who went out without
and-
pay,
and, you know-
because they couldn't wait anymore, their tea times.
Yeah.
And they caught it
Now-
at the end.
Should they get in line 20 minutes before their tea time? Yeah, but a couple of times, you know, can you take me next? Because I'm supposed to be on the tee. Well, you just got in line 5 minutes ago,
Right.
and you're on the tee now. Shame
Yeah.
on you.
Right.
I didn't say that, but you know. And then Cindy Pavano today, she gets up there. God bless her. She gets up there and she goes, I want a season pass. So, well, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, so she.
But she's on the tee in 5 minutes?
No, no.
All right, well, then it's fine.
But then she was asked to fill out the form.
Yep.
Form? What form? You know, I'm gonna fill out. I never filled out a form before. Yes, you did.
Yes, sir.
You most certainly did.
Every year, yes.
Cindy did. Goes, really? And then this woman in the back hits me in the shoulder saying, she's 80-something years old, leave her alone. You know, so, and Bob was really good. He says, here's put you right in, so, you know, but if there's something that we could do to speed up, I don't know if.
What is the holdup? I mean, what do you think the holdup is?
I think we have a lot of trouble when we have two teams to bring in.
We've always done it though.
Yeah.
So like, and we've done it with merchandise, with answering the phone and all that. I mean, from what I see, and I'm just observing, it's the season pass holders because he's asking for like your name, your address, like asking all these questions, and that's what's not really streamlined. Is
For the season pass holders, he's asking that?
Do we have like a key
Yeah, but
fob?
the
Well,
barcode
it's
works
who
now,
you-
right?
Well, it's who you playing with, and who's like.
Checking
Well,
the
he wants to know who the tea time is. Whose tea time is it? So in other words, if I'm coming here, you know, who's it under?
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, they get paired up and they don't even know who they're playing with. You know, they know that they have to show up at 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I observed is that, you know, you need to know who makes the time and what time and Bob.
Okay, let's
You know,
go.
I know we've always
Go
had.
ahead. Let him finish.
But this is
Let him
this
finish.
is I mean this is a new system, so I'm bringing it up so that we can hopefully figure out a way to just streamline this and still make the system happy and the golfer happy.
Okay.
Because right now the golfers are there's so many eyes rolling.
Yeah.
And you know the more that happens, the more under pressure the guy or girl behind the counter is, and it just compounds and it's not good for anybody.
Fair
So let's
Okay.
figure out a way to
So-
make it
so-
all work.
I gotta leave, guys.
Huh?
I have to leave now.
All right.
Take care.
Bye, Bill.
Bye now.
7:23. Bill's leaving. Good night, Bill. And Joe, you still on?
No, Joe left.
All right. So he was leaving at 6:40. All right. So here, I had the same question, and it came to if you're a season pass holder, you have the barcode,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I have that. So I just put mine on the phone, and now the reader now can read it.
Does it read the phone?
Yes, it reads the phone. It reads the phone. It did on mine. All right. So, but I had to spend some time with them inputting all my information, right? Whatever they did, I don't know what she did. Mila did it. So now I'm in the system. So I think all season pass holders have to get into the system, and that's part of the new POS system, right? So am I correct in saying that? So once we do that, that streamlines.
But you're still asked what's your tea time?
Well, that
who
well that
time?
part I
Well, we've always done it, and then we've always scanned the key fob, and
Right.
then it's
Exactly.
like $2.
same thing. Give me $2, boom, right?
You know, and if you click the T sheet now, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, and you scan it, it should pull up your customer into your tea time, right? So
Yeah, but I don't know. So it's supposed to have 2 tea times. I don't know who I'm going to play with, which one.
you know what time you're playing though. You say
Yeah.
I'm at 8:30.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
All right.
That's where we scan you in.
So, I mean, like you're saying, the guy walks in, he's like what Peter was saying, that he wants your name, your address, stuff like that. If you're a season pass holder, right? This is gonna give you my time. If I say I came in, I say I have a 9:15 time. Shouldn't I say who I'm gonna play with because I got a 9:15 time? Don't say who I'm playing with, the 9:15 time. The next person coming, he's got a 9:15 time. He's gonna be automatic on that 9:15 time.
Yeah, just
So
But
the time.
one shot, one shot deal.
The issue is up until you got the 9 holders and the 18 holders, right?
Right.
So he doesn't know where to apply it. Is it the front or the back? You know what I'm saying? That's why
Okay,
he
so
estimates the
oh,
time.
okay,
Now,
so-
once it's 10 o'clock or whatever and there's no more
Okay, but let me
9 holders, then it's not an
Right,
issue.
so
It's
basically,
gonna-
if you get a 9 holder, if you get a,
It's gotta learn.
right, if you
I
get a
mean,
9,
no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
if you get a 9 holder and he's gonna come to play 9 holes, then that T tries to say, okay, it say 8:30, 9 holes. So it should go automatically to 9 holes. Not to the 18, it should automatically go on the 9 holes. That's all you're saying.
Listen, Mark, somebody was bitching to Mark the other day, and Mark said, listen, you know, this is all new. If this is like this in June, then you have every right to complain.
Right.
You know, give
Give it
a
some time
chance
to work.
Give it some time to
And
work
it will
out.
take time.
I mean, people have to learn names and learn who people are.
Okay, well,
I
that's
understand
true,
that.
they don't know the people.
We've been open for less than a month.
That's right.
We've been open for less than a month. This is a brand new POS system that's put in there, right? You got all new staff. You have a lot of variables going on here. You know, everything has changed. People are used to things a certain way. We understand that, but at the same token, it's like, listen, take a step back. We're going to get there. And I think, Mark, what you're saying is true. If it's June and we had this conversation, then you got a problem. I think they're learning the process. I see it going faster. You will have hiccups. You will. But those they will iron themselves out. I'm thinking,
The key fob would be real nice. I
But
think
this-
that would make
this-
things faster.
I think we have to, maybe put a blurb out there that, if you do this with the, your key fob or whatever, and the barcode's in there, if you have the order information on file, spend 5 minutes with them, or not even that much, a couple minutes with them, and they'll set it up, and it'll be there. You won't have this problem going down the road. But you have to spend the time in order to save the time. And people have to understand that. And
My
that's.
staff can even set up the key fobs because I have a scanner too. Goes right.
But
to
your
the
scanner
system.
didn't work. Last year it didn't work.
No, I'm talking about I have one this year. I got the same. I actually got the scanner for my items out there.
Oh, okay.
And I told Saul, I said, Saul, it's only $30. Like 4 of us trying to charge like $400. I got it on Amazon and it works. It was 4 of them.
Well, it's fine,
$30,
right?
So he got one. And
All right.
it works.
Yeah,
But our staff,
Can you enter
our
it in?
staff could say, Jim Norton can come up to like the merchandise staff,
Yeah.
and you can say, I'd like to get a key fob with my season pass. We can look up your customer, scan the key fob under your name that's already in there, and then it's done. And it's probably a
Well, then,
1 minute process.
can we put a memo out to the season pass holders? And just put an email blast out there, like, listen, if you're a season pass holder, we expect,
Well, it's the
set
same
it
thing,
up.
so like, it's gotta be okay with Saul.
Yeah.
That's something, his staff is gonna be able to collect the fees. So like, if.
No, just set it up, to do the setup,
We could, but I mean, are they gonna use the scanner? That would be my question.
They use the scanner with me, right?
I thought they have been.
They have it.
Okay.
Ideal scenario, I don't know if we'll ever get there, you should be like a grocery store. You got your card that you use for your grocery store, you get the same thing for a fob, you go in there, make it all self-service, you hit it, says now you want a card, yes or no, yes? Here's how much you owe.
Well, we're not.
No, I'm just saying,
No.
there's no reason why we couldn't be there, it's just, technology's there. It's just
Yeah.
having a facility inside the.
And the technology costs money too as well.
No, you're right. Technically, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
Right.
You're right. You are correct. Are we going to be there? I don't see that.
Well, we
happening,
will,
but-
in the future, we will.
No.
Speaking of
Not this
cards,
year.
we used to get
Hold on, Nancy, hold on. Peter, anything else?
No, no, I just wanted to bang heads
Okay.
and figure out if we can streamline it somehow
Well,
so everybody's happy.
So I think one of them is an email blast that the next one that goes out. Let them know that if you're a season pass holder, have it set up and listen.
But that was
Peter and I fight about this thing all the time. Who's got the better one for the store cards or whatever, right? I mean, it's just.
Jim, that was done when you got your season pass, they were establishing the
I don't know
stuff on
what.
the system.
I don't know. It never made it in there, so I had to spend a few more
What's
minutes
the
with
name
her.
was doing it?
I don't know.
Your information probably got in there, but not the UPC or whatever the
Yeah,
code.
whatever the code was or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's
But
the
whatever.
one that needs to be put in.
Okay, Nancy, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
we used to get the card, that you can punch. Do we have to keep our track of the cards that we use? Because, how does that work? Am I gonna go up there one day and all of a sudden I lost track of how many cards
The next receipt you get, just look at the bottom of the receipt.
It'll tell how many that I
Tells
left?
you what you where you had.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
You can always ask me to.
Okay.
Did you put that when new cards are coming?
It's still in the same mid-May, late May, but before June.
Okay.
Yeah,
Saul, since we have real fill with seed, is there any way we can? Is there something that the course could use on the 1st and 10th tee with bottles for walkers to grab a bottle?
We started the process this week of taking out all the, what do you call them, baskets? What are the carts?
Yeah.
Sand buckets.
The sand, we
Yeah.
took all the sand buckets out of the carts this week, we emptied the buckets, we dividing them on what we can use, what we can't, cause if it's cracked or not.
Right.
Mark has a pro-am Wednesday, we're planning on filling all the buckets with the green sand for that tournament. And with that, we're also gonna put a garbage pail, one, by the tees and one by the cart shed. So we can refill as well.
Okay.
But in regards to like,
Like the bottle racks that you see.
yeah, that I sent,
That could be a donation.
I sent that over to Mike Hadlock.
Okay.
He said you all were gonna talk about it
Okay,
in your next
good.
meeting. You have a lot of different options that you can donate to. That's one of them.
Good.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Along those lines, what you might wanna consider selling in the pro shop, if you don't have them already, like my cart has a
Right.
add-on. Do you have them?
I don't, but if I get them, will the town provide the sand for them?
The fill?
If people want to buy them, we'll just say, and I'd sell to at my wholesale because I want to just take care of the course, whatever. Would the town provide the seat for people
Yeah.
that want to walk and have it? I know what you're talking about because I looked it up. It's like a sun
Yeah, I
mounted
have-
clicker. It clicks on
Yeah, I
like
have
the
one,
side,
and I
yeah.
used to spill it at home, frankly, and do it, which Gary would kill me because that seat doesn't go on the golf course, but I used to do it.
That's where all those dandelions came from.
But if you're gonna have things out there to fill the sand
Culvert.
things, we would do the same thing, I would take one of those
Yeah.
sand things, I'd pour it in and.
Or you can go to the cart attendant, because the cart attendant's gonna have the barrel, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, it would just,
if we
I'm not
could
saying
reach out
get,
to the clubs probably, all the like the men's club, women's
yeah,
club.
I mean, I would promote it.
Like, hey, I'm selling. I could just sell the bottles or whatever to people, and as long as
I'm
they
not saying buy
provide
a
the
ton, because I don't know who's gonna buy them.
No, I
Do
mean,
you guys have them? You walk?
I walk all the time.
You
You
have
know
one?
what? I buy one. I buy one. Otherwise,
No, I have one.
otherwise I would use a Gatorade bottle.
Yeah, but this fits right on your, it clicks right on the cart.
Really?
Yeah, perfect.
the Gatorade bottle.
It
take
clicks
about
right
2
on your,
minutes.
on your cart.
It'd be out.
You have one.
Yes, sir.
Any updates on the carts?
Yeah.
You just gave it.
It's just.
Oh, no, I missed it, I wasn't paying attention.
January.
Before Christmas. Before
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying
He's fit
attention.
right in now. He's fit right in.
I wasn't paying attention, I admit I wasn't paying
That's all right.
attention, I was in another world.
We're still in the same schedule of just before June,
Good.
mid-May.
So
Sorry, I wasn't.
you're gonna get those things?
I don't get a lot of sleep at all.
Oh, yeah, I have one.
Interesting. I've never seen.
Oh, hi.
Well,
Click
Cooper's
here,
gonna-
Look,
click
buy it
here
for me.
and Sun Mountain makes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does that
I'll see what they-
NGI.
I'll see what they
too.
cost me, and I'll see like
I'll make a buck or
anything,
two.
no, anything to help the course.
That'd be great because I'd love to do that. Just
Yeah. It's easy.
Should the fob system, the key fob, should we extend that to residents too, or? Because some people tell me they got it for
Non-residents?
being residents.
What?
Need to be there.
We used to have it so if we categorize a resident,
Versus a
they use the
non-resident,
key fob. And if you didn't have a key fob, you're non-resident.
yeah. Interesting. That's fun. I mean, I've had mine year after year. Give me a new one this year, so you might as well recycle them, keep them the same numbers. But yeah, that's an idea. That'll save you showing whatever. Once you're in the system, you're in the system, right? For that year.
Well, why, were you doing it just for season pass holders? Oh,
I didn't know that. Oh, that's an idea. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine.
No, someone said the other day, so
Pretty much slow things
I just
down.
want to do things as we've been doing. So.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm okay with that. You guys,
Different
well, save you
colors-
time.
Different colors for,
no.
No, I only have the one color.
Yeah, you got one.
Everybody's gonna have a unique number.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, by the number, they'll know if it's a
So,
season
so Mark,
pass
you
or
gave
not.
it last year. Everybody was a resident. One of the passes.
If they were in our
a barcode.
system,
If you're
they got it at some point.
got it. All right. Well, there you go.
They got
It's
one
like-
in 2011, and maybe they moved the I mean,
well, you have to renew it every year, but big deal.
not for resident. Like you just had to show your license.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's a renewal
Are
process.
we, are we validating people if they say they're residents? Perfect.
Good. Good. All right. Yes.
I don't know if this is open discussion or the.
We're open discussion.
Sal's report, USGA event that,
I actually had this old business, but we got into talking, and I didn't want to hold the families up, but
yeah,
the U.S. Senior was approved this
Oh, nice.
week.
oh, finally.
So
Good, good.
They waived the fee.
That was just foolish, even been to that point, but great,
Okay,
very good.
and that's in August, I believe.
Yeah, that's excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
All right.
What's the, do you have the date on that?
August 9th.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
Do they need
It's like the
volunteers?
That's
second
what I was
Wednesday in
wondering.
August.
If they needed
I'll
volunteers.
volunteer.
That's what I was wondering. Who's the contact for that?
Ryan Hoffman with the CSGA.
Oh, Ryan's a good guy.
Yeah, he's like the tournament director.
So that, I think I put it in here.
That's the 9th.
The 9th, okay, I'm gonna add it.
All right, open discussion, anything else?
Next Wednesday.
If you want to play, I know somebody.
I want to golf course.
Golf
carts.
All right,
Update.
account balance is T-Sun account, 9,000.
Your handicap's got to be going.
9,400 T-Sun account. And that's enough to cover the clock?
Yes, it is.
Nice. All right, so that's going forward. CIP balance, nothing encumbered, you got 20 grand in there, 20 and change. Can we, I mean, we used to have like a, how can I say this, the long-term plan, you know? And it was Jerry's plan, it was Jonathan's plan, and Jerry said he never saw it, and he had one. Listen, we got to pass that. We got, and just maybe even publish it, put it on the site. That way, it's out there. You know, it's a living document. Nobody's going to hold you to the. You know, you said this year, but it's just here's what we're looking at. You know what I mean? Can we get something like that?
Like to what extent?
I don't know, just of CIP. What the
10
long
pages?
No.
It was actually, it was a
It's simple. It was a spreadsheet.
It was a spreadsheet, and it had, you know,
By
year
year.
one, and like 3 or 4 projects, and the estimated cost. Year 2, 3 or 4 projects, and the estimated cost. You know, so it was just a simple.
So we knew what was going on, and saying the next 5, 10 years, what you were thinking of, where you're 5 years out. You know?
Retirement.
You ain't old enough, dude. Because you're looking around like, you know, every except for the others, you guys, we're all, you know.
Do you have one from back in? that you
Yes,
can
I
sign?
guess I can. Okay. You know what, I mean, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
How old are you?
You're already
What are you?
73?
I'm 73, I'll be 74 in August.
Oh, so you're older than me.
You're the baby?
Almost.
How old are you?
64.
Ooh,
A youngin'.
yeah.
Nobody likes a bragger.
I'm still
Well, how old
in the 30s.
Jim, how old are you?
I'll be 65 in September.
Barely.
When?
September.
Ah, he's older than me too. Where did my lollipop?
You know what I thought I had one
No, it was Joe Puccini.
I don't know, he was here, he was on the phone, he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the youngest, he's gotta be the youngest of us all. I'll get that to you.
Phil's not.
I will get that to you. No, he's a senior, Phil's a senior.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I'm sorry. I got all messed up here. CIP budget, all right, the director's reports, let's go through those. Director's report, let's go, Sal, that's your,
I was trying to open it.
Huh?
I was trying to open my phone.
yeah, I'm trying to find something else for you too.
I mean, I feel like we had a decent month of opening the course in the range. Like we all talked about, there's a lot of things that could still be more efficient. So we always try to evaluate and review and try to come up with things, so you know, to help all those things. So this, you know, the speed of each transaction, yeah, it could definitely improve. So you know, we're always going to look into that and make sure if we need to change, you know, our process up, we'll change our process up. So, but in every aspect of our staff, you know, our starters, you know, they need to do a better job at paying attention, like having 2 golf carts max per group, or you know, not interfering with turn groups, you know, when they're starving in the middle of the day. You know, our rangers, you know, I feel like our pace of play for like men's clubs. They need to get a little better, so our Rangers need to pay attention to those more. So, you know, these are all things that, you know, I'm going to continue to talk to our staff about it and make sure that they have, they're put in a position to succeed.
So, you know, I was last week, it was during the week, playing during the week, and there was a group, two groups in front of us that were very slow, and Lindsay was coming around, mentioned it to Lindsay, he went out there, he spoke to the two groups in front of us, moved right along.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very, he's doing a good job, he's doing a good job doing, you know, moving the people right along.
Nice.
But what I found out today, I mean, so when I was out there, just, it's like the grass is growing, and if you go left or right, I mean, it's kind of tough to find the ball. You know what I'm
Keep it in
saying?
the fairway.
No, I know you gotta keep it in the fairway, but I'm saying, we got a tournament coming up, if anybody hit it to left or right and the ball, for some reason, you can't see the ball.
Well, the tournament's
You know, so that's why I'm
Well,
wondering,
they're pros, right?
how high are they gonna keep that rough? That's,
Well, they're
Some
gonna.
are.
It's that page high.
Most are hammers, but I mean,
you know what I'm saying? How
I
high?
was out there,
I don't
this
know.
looks like it's in great shape.
It looks good, but it is high, and you have a tough, I mean, I went right by the ball, and I couldn't see it, I was right on top of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Ends
I
up
know,
in
I
the
mean, how
ball,
high is
the
it?
ball of shape.
Yeah, so.
Let me know there.
But I mean,
Where'd you lose
no,
it?
no, I mean,
No,
what
But
he's
that's what
saying,
rough
it's
is.
gonna cause slower
Jim,
play.
it's no different than they've had it any other year.
No, I'm just saying, how high is he gonna keep it? Because it's gonna affect the play,
It always does.
eventually will.
But any rough does, unless you play at Tungus, they have no rough.
I was out there and it wasn't bad.
I don't think it's
I
bad.
mean, if it grows
Okay,
another 2 or 3 inches,
I'm
maybe.
just telling you how
But
I
like-
felt with it,
Yeah.
how I saw it, and I'm just saying, if I saw it the way somebody else is gonna see it, and it's gonna be, it's like you said, it's gonna be time consuming. How fast do we get around that golf course? You know, I'm just saying.
You just check the pace of play. If the pace
Well,
of
we'll
play
find out
slows
this
down,
weekend.
We've
you know
been
what I
playing
mean?
with it
We'll find
very
out this
short,
weekend.
you know, up until now.
Yeah.
We've been playing with it so short.
Sure, exactly.
So
Now
we're
it's
kind
gone.
of not used to the rough.
I'd like to give some kudos to one of our newer starters who I think is absolutely fabulous.
Chris?
Donnie?
Nope, not Don.
Oh, yeah, that's
Right.
Donnie's perfect for that job, man.
Boy, let me
I've
tell
never
you
met
something,
him.
he
You know Don?
is good.
You know? You ever met him?
Well, yeah, he was on the parking
Right,
record.
right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a perfect job for Donnie, man. I know.
He
But do you
is
have
good.
name tags? I find it helpful to have name tags.
They
'Cause
put
I
the
don't-
do that in shirts and whatever.
I mean,
Everybody's
they
gonna
used to
dress
have
the same,
name tags. I mean,
everybody's gonna dress the same, like you can,
Or at
the
least,
golf shirts.
yeah, but the name tag, because I don't know, you know, I don't,
My,
Yeah, I know. eventually
my
I'll
uniform
learn.
budget keeps going down, so
But how about name tags? Is that-
that I can
Yeah.
look into.
Oh, you
I
can make
think that
those.
was a
You
good
print
idea.
those out every day. Staples, you go to Staples and get that.
I will say this,
It's nice.
listen, the course,
Yeah.
the course looks great. You guys are doing a great
It does.
job. It does. The markers, and thank you, and I'll say this,
It looks good.
for, the, sprinkler heads. You clean those out, mark them
Yeah,
about
that
time,
looks
because there was a lawsuit waiting to happen, man. It was, because there was almost one from me.
It's nice to see them 100 yards.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
those, I'm talking about the water, you know, water,
Yeah,
it's,
and those are
No, it
nice
looks
too.
good.
That looks
and,
good
and,
too.
and I'm, you know what, I'm very, really, I was kind of tickled pink, and I looked at the tee boxes, and they have actual dirt with seed in them. It's like, this is phenomenal. It's not that stuff that they pick up from the road that they were putting in there. So it's, you know, and it's not concrete either. So great, seriously solid. It's that's good.
Kudos to Jerry and his staff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yep.
For what we have, for what we have.
yeah.
Yep. But you know what? And I'll say this again. If you know, on a hot day, there was a I don't know who's the kid with the beard, the young guy. Anthony, I put him in water. They sent him to cold
He
water.
was all, you know what, I'll tell you what, can I tell you something, Jim? That went a long way, cause
You heard about that?
yeah, he told me, he goes, man, he goes, that Jim Norton guy?
SOB.
He says, he ain't that bad, he gave me water. He ain't that bad, he gave me water, he's not like Jim Green. Jim Green just ran right by me.
No, it was hot. It was hot. These guys were sweating. You know, listen.
Hey, you know what?
So
Give it
I have
cold
a
water.
question, because there's
Good
a
morning,
big, your snooga
Good
outing
morning.
there on Saturday. Are the bathrooms they're not gonna be open this weekend?
They right.
They are?
They're,
Oh, they
they
are
are.
good.
Oh, okay, because I wanna
We
work
made it
with,
a point of mentioning bathrooms and snooker open.
because the ladies are gonna
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
know. Okay.
Ladies, men, it's like, you know, otherwise we have to use the trees all.
Oh, there were a couple of those
Remember that,
today.
Nancy? That happened
Let me
problem
tell you.
last time, lady.
I think the bathrooms and the water fountains will be available tomorrow.
Oh, good,
Good.
okay, great.
Excellent.
That was
Excellent.
helpful.
What else you got, boss?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
They're all paid out of golf carts.
Huh?
You're bad.
I've never let it go down.
Mark, what do you got?
All right, I'll be quick, so we make record time.
That's it, man. That's what it should be.
The golf course opened, March 23rd, which was exactly 1 week later, than 2022. There's a blast email newsletter that's gonna go out, like we have done in years past, where Saul, you know, write up something, I'll write up something, and we'll put any pertinent information that you need to know. One thing that's been really helpful has been this Google Drive, where we have Google Drive set up, so I'll update like all the leagues and outings and the tournament schedule and all that in there, and it goes right to him, so we can always kind of be on the same page there. So that's been a nice tool. Junior League, we started registration for that, and we've got over 30 registered. I'm thinking we're going to get 60 plus for that, which would be good. We did a junior clinic or a camp during April vacation. We borrowed some inflatables from the Connecticut PGA. So if anybody saw the big gator that was on the range, we had 9 kids for that, all from Berlin. That went well. The weather was nice that week. We're going to start up our Women in Wine clinics next Monday. We've got about 20 signed up for that, which is good. I know it always starts out really, you know, busy, and then once the summer hits, I think people do other things, but the spring is usually good for that. We're hosting 28 total leagues between Monday to Friday.
Wow.
How many?
28.
What percentage of budget is that? Rough?
You know, greens fee alone is 10%, but then when you add in carts and range and whatever, I'm thinking it's 15 to 20% of our overall revenue.
Wow.
And they're basically all 9 holes, but you know, you play in one, Sebby plays in one. It is busy. I will say that it's going to ramp up a little bit. The starters in the afternoon have been doing a nice job. I know just because I haven't heard anything from the leagues, like, we can get out on time, none of that. So,
How do we speed up play in that? That's going to be.
you know, if you're going to have a ranger, I would just recommend having one during that time, budgeting one for weekday afternoons. You know, just to keep, because there's going to be just so many people out there, you know, compared to a normal time. So that would be my recommendation, because there should be no gaps.
It took us 2 hours and 45 minutes, almost 3 hours to play the first time, and it went down after that.
You
But
know, it's sad. You were the only league out there, and you were probably the last group.
I was the last group, and I was like, I was going.
So
if somebody was behind me, I was like livid.
I would suggest you talk to your league.
I did, and I, you know.
Yeah.
It's always been a problem with that league.
Yeah.
Well, there's something that if there's ever
A ranger would
a
be
time for, if there's ever a ranger, Monday after the Monday league, the night of the Walking Dead, we call it, you know, the KFC league.
Pretty much.
It's,
But,
oh my gosh.
you know, but you're not alone, and there's a lot of people out there. It only takes one group to really mess it all up.
Yeah.
So I think having a ranger during that time, budgeting for that would be appropriate. That would be good. We're going to start up our mixed league the 28th, and we've got a bunch of signups for that already. We ran a social media promotion. I gave a dozen balls to somebody that won that Pick the Masters winner contest. I think we got some emails through that to our marketing director. I'm learning the new system like everybody else. And I mean, I know I've been there 12 years, but it's still new for me too. So I've been updating the tee sheet, and you know, I've been learning each day better ways to do it so it helps all staff. So I think we have a good thing going here. We really weren't sure how it was going to work out, but I think that we're all on the same page there now and working together, which is good. I put in my report kind of to echo Peter that I think there's a lot of really good hires. The starter positions, like there's a couple there that are really good and they're taking pride in what they do, which, you know, that's important because they don't, for a minimum wage job, that's a pretty stressful job at times. So, you know, kudos to them. And then just on top of that, I just want to commend my staff, Al, Gino, and Brandon. They've been learning the system. They've been trying to take all the phone calls to help alleviate some of the traffic there at the counter. So
You just a starter at
shout out
Chris.
as well.
Cause that's Chris, who's the other, sorry, he's good too, he's very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah, he's been great.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we're moving in the right direction for sure. And we'll just see how busy we continue to be. I know that the men's club, they had opening day and they had 164 players, which is a lot. Their second tournament, they had 140. This is all, and like the women's club, I keep getting renewals for that. For this,
Yeah,
so,
we picked up a few more numbers.
I think that all the organizations we have are strong in their numbers and growing. So that's always going to be a good thing for the golf course. So I think that's important to just continue to work with them. And that's about it.
Superintendent's report, we kind of went through that. My only comment on that is, can we get a timeline or estimated completion dates for some of those things? He's listed a couple different things on there. It's great that you listed them out, but you want to put a date on there, and that kind of,
You're assuming he knows.
Well, listen. Any project I had to do, I had to put a start and end date, right? I mean, it's just the way it is.
I think it's
So-
a good start. He's at least letting you know what he's doing.
I understand that, but when when do you anticipate completion and even quotes? I'll have quotes by this time. I'll have, things like that. That's all. That's just my observation. That's you kind of hold people accountable. Then it's like because we had this stuff back last November, some of the same stuff, right? And it's just I know you weren't. Why not?
I was in paradise.
Wait, this is paradise.
Now he's just thrown to the
Hey, Saul has done a very nice job.
No, so listen. Can I say this? Wait. Let me. Saul, you've done a great job. I will say this: a phenomenal job. I really. And so we're just, I had the pleasure of meeting his parents too. They tried to run the other way. I said,
That door gets a bad guy.
So very nice, and
It's all team effort.
so yeah, it's good. It's good.
Do what we can do.
Yeah.
Oh, you're part of that team?
Oh!
I was there the same day.
With that, anybody else have anything to say? No.
No, I make a motion to second.
Jimmy Green. Very good. All right, and the time is 7:53.
Woo!
Record time.
Nice. I will get you. See that.